Hello and welcome once again to Akuse's vlog. If you are new here, kindly subscribe to my channel and don't forget to hit the notification bell when you're done. In today's recipe, we are going to bake our jollof rice. Yeah, you heard me. Jollof rice is a dish from West Africa. It's typically made with long grain rice, tomato, onion, some spices and meat in a single pot. Although the ingredients and preparation vary across different regions, each West African country has at least one variant form of the dish, with Ghana, Nigeria, Sierra Leone, Liberia and Cameroon particularly competitive as to which country makes the best jollof. Because of this delicious food, there is a rivalry always between Ghana and Nigerians as to who makes the best jollof rice. Come with me as I take you through the process today. First of all, I have my long grain rice, I have some natural spices, I have rosemary, black pepper, alligator pepper, some star spice, my cloves and then my bay leaf. I also have some mixed vegetables, bell peppers, habanero peppers, some carrots. I'm using celery for this recipe today. And then I have my mixed onions. I also have my ginger and then some garlic. Now onto the proteins, I have some chicken breast, I have some chicken drums, and then my beef. You can use any of your choice. Now I have a little oil for this recipe and then my natural spices. I have some turmeric, some cumin, some nutmeg, my salt to taste, and then my curry powder. Now let's begin by chopping all our vegetables. This is a different way of making jollof. Now someone will ask why you are to bake your jollof instead of cooking it. Let me give you just two differences. Unlike the jollof cooked on the stove top, which is heated from the bottom, oven cooked gets an even steady flow of heat from all directions. Enti se wo noa wo jollof na wo pese kaka be fema na wo pese ase be shit de bia aya try na use oven nso so e ma ne desron ku bia unya no wo be bia ankasa. Oven cooked rice has also a great flavor and you don't need to worry about your saucepans too. If you are in Ghana or if you are in anywhere that you have your coal pot or if you have access to a charcoal grill, this will be the best, but I don't have any charcoal grill today, so I'm using my oven for this. Now for this recipe too, I'm going to use just half of all my bell peppers and then I would roast everything at 180 degrees Celsius for 11 minutes. You can do it 12 or even till 15 minutes, depending on how you want yours. Now look at how beautiful it is. So I will just lay it straight into my oven for the 11 minutes that I told you earlier and then move on to the next. Now I'm going to prep my chicken. Today I do not want any juicy chicken because the people I'm making this food for do not want too much oil in their food. So join me and I'll tell you my secret ingredients for today's recipe. I'm done cutting it. I'll give it a quick wash and then place them beautifully into my bowl for seasoning. After, I'm going to add my blended onion, garlic, ginger, and then my natural spices together with my soy sauce for this recipe. And then add some salt to taste. After, I'm going to add the leaves of my celery and then give it a quick stir and set it aside for 4 good hours. If you are not going to use it after the 4 hours, make sure you refrigerate it. If you're not going to use it for more than a day, kindly put it at the freezer section and then you can use it anytime you want. So I'll move on to the next and then season my beef too. So I'm adding a tablespoon of my natural spices. I will list them below, and then my blended ginger, onion, garlic with the herbs too. After, I'm giving it a quick stir and add my bay leaves. Remember, bay leaves are better when you use more, so always use about 2 to 3 leaves, and then add your salt to taste. Set it aside when you are done. After, I'm going to check on our vegetables too, and it's nicely made, so I'll take it out of the oven and allow it to cool before blending it. Going to add a little bit of water and then blend till it's very smooth. When you bake this on charcoal, believe me, you get this aroma that is heavenly. So the preparation is done. I'm going to start the stew by putting just a little oil into my bowl or my saucepan and add the blended vegetables directly in it. I will give it a quick stir and allow it to boil for 5 minutes on medium heat before adding my tomato paste. So this is how it looks like after the 5 minutes. So I'll add my tomato paste and then reduce the heat on a medium heat and add water directly to this and then give it a quick stir. We are going to cook this for 30 minutes. Make sure to be checking on it once in a while to know whether the base of the saucepan isn't burnt. If it's burnt, you get a bitter stew, and we don't want that for this recipe. Cover it and allow it to cook beautifully when you are done. So after the 4 hours, I'm going to lay my chicken beautifully onto my baking tray, and then I will allow it to sit for 4 to 5 minutes and check on my stew. For this recipe, I don't want a very juicy chicken because of the preference of the people who will be eating it today. So continue watching whilst I show you the trick to getting this. Now after, I'm going to check on my stew. Look at how bubbling it is. So I'll cover it and then reduce the heat and come back again to stir it one more time. After, I'm going to cover it for 5 minutes and then add my spices to it. So first of all, I'm going to add my nutmeg. I'm also adding my curry powder and then some stock powder too. After, I'm going to give it a quick stir and then allow it to cook for 2 minutes before coming back again to it. I have still not added any salt yet at this stage because I'll be adding my chicken broth to this, and it already has a little bit of salt, so I would allow it to melt beautifully before checking on my salt. This, I froze it, so I'll put it in for 5 minutes and come back again to it. After the 5 minutes, it has melted beautifully, so I'll give it one quick stir. You can add your tin fish or mackerels at this stage, or your corned beef, but then I am not adding today, so I'll just add my salt and give it one more stir. Cover this and allow it to continue cooking while checking on your meat. So we are going to bake or grill our chicken at 200 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes. I'll be checking on it once in a while. So in a separate bowl, I'm adding some of my stew, my yaji, and then my dry pepper. This is particularly to people in West Africa. They know what I'm talking about. So I added my salt and then I'll give it a quick stir. Now this is the secret to my chicken today, and then after 15 minutes I'll just take it and then add it directly to my mixture. Now this is the oil from my chicken, which I don't need today, so I'll take only the chicken out and then change my baking tray again before moving on to the next. So instead of adding the oil to this, if you want a juicy one, add the oil from the chicken. But then if you don't want it, add just a little bit of water to this one or to the mixture, and then make sure you spread it around all the parts of the chicken nicely, and then place them onto your baking tray again. So after 30 minutes too, I'm going to scoop some of the stew again into my baking bowl today, and then add my already washed rice to this. After, I'm going to stir everything together, add just a little bit of salt to this, and then voila, we move on to the next stage. You can add your salt and water before stirring it, but then I prefer to mix it first, add a little bit of salt to taste, mix again nicely before adding just a little water to be at par with my rice. If you don't want any soggy rice, always use just a little bit of water for your jasmine rice, and trust me, it will come out perfectly. So this is how it looks like. After, I'm going to cover it with my aluminum foil before placing it in my oven. Remember not to make the aluminum foil come into direct contact with your food. So here it is, and then my chicken too. I'm going to bake it for 35 minutes at 200 degrees Celsius. After 15 minutes, I'm taking my rice off, and then now the water has drained, so I'll give it one more stir. You know, jollof rice needs constant stirring to make sure the stew has mixed well, and then parts of the rice isn't white. After, add your fried meat and then give it one quick stir. Place back the aluminum foil and then into the oven again. After another 10 minutes, this is how it looks like. So I'll give it one quick stir again and then cover it up. Place it back into my oven and then allow it to continue cooking for extra 20 minutes. Yeah. So in all, we use 15 minutes to achieve this delicious jollof rice, or joff as we used to call it when we were younger. Now it's time to serve. You can eat it with your shito stew with some vegetables or salad, and you are good to go. Or you can even eat it like that. We cooked jollof rice some time ago, so I'll leave the link in the description box too, so you kindly check and compare to choose whichever one you want. Now for picky eaters, this is a recipe for you. You don't have any chance of big vegetables in it, so you are good to go. And then for those who do not want too much oil from your food too, this is the right choice for you. Thank you, lovely people, for subscribing to my channel, both existing and new ones. Now this is how the chicken also came out to be. It's really dry, it doesn't have any juice or oil in it, and then you can leave it even at room temperature for 2 to 3 days without going stale. Thank you so much. Continue sharing me out, like and leave your comments in the description section for more videos. Bye bye.